Hello and welcome once again to the Hornby magazine workshop. Today, myself and Mike bring you a Hornby Flying Scotsman which has been fitted with a Locoman Sounds sound file. So Mike, tell us more.
Right, so this is, like I say, it's a new sound file from Locoman Sounds, and it's loaded onto an ESU chip. It's got the 8-pin socket in this particular model of the A3, and the locomotive it's in is the latest version of the A3 from Hornby, which has got the new die-cast running plate, and it's got the firebox flicker as well.
So tell us a bit more, because the installation, slightly different to normal. The speaker's on in the tender.
No, that's right. So previously I've done an installation with the previous generation model of Flying Scotsman from Hornby when it had a plastic running plate. I did that back in issue 147, I think it was, in 2019, so a few years ago now. And that was with a Zimo decoder and Stay Alive, and everything was fitted into the tender of that. So speaker, decoder, Stay Alive, all in the tender. This time I was looking at the loco thinking, I wanted to make it different. I wanted to find a different way to do it. And one of the things I always like to be able to do is, if I can, is with a steam locomotive, is to be able to get a speaker in the front in the boiler, because then that gives you a better sound output, in my view, where actually the sounds feel like they're coming out the right end of the locomotive. I think sometimes when the speaker's in the tender, it can kind of give this false sense of sound, where it's like, well, the sound's there, it's great, but it comes from the wrong end of the train.
You say that, it does make a difference.
Yeah. I found a really easy way to do it as well. There's an extra section of weight on the front of the chassis, which is held in place with one screw. Undid that screw, took that section of weight out, then you've got all the front 3 sections of the boiler. So the two front sections of the boiler and the smoke box then is all empty, where there's space for a big speaker. So there's now a 40 by 20 by 10 twin rail exclusive speaker in there. I think it's called their boombox speaker. That's then through wire back through the locomotive back to the tender. So just one extra pair of wires into the tender. And then in the tender, I'll be able to keep the full depth coal space, because now all that's in the tender is the 8-pin decoder from ESU with Locoman sound profile in it. And there's then a DCC Concepts Zen plug and play Stay Alive in there as well, which is through wired onto that ESU decoder with their little adapter board and onto one of their 6 capacitor packs in there as well. So lots of onboard energy storage for this loco.
So that sounds complicated. How was the install compared to a traditional one?
I actually think it was easier because I had to do less chopping around. So in the previous installation I did with the other model in 2019, I had to cut away all the coal space in the tender and create a false coal load. So it had all the space inside. Basically, the whole of the tender then became full of speaker and decoder and everything. It was a really full tender in terms of components. Whereas in this case, my modification is taking out one screw inside a loco, and you never know I've done it. I was quite impressed myself, to be honest.
So with the Locoman sound file, what are some of the features we can expect, and why did you pick it?
Well, we've had this a similar version of the A3 before from Locoman Sounds. We had it as a demonstration model, again, a couple of years ago. I think it's in 2020 or early 2021. This time I saw it was really ideal for us to install in Flying Scotsman as part of our Flying Scotsman Centenary celebration content as well. So this is part of our modelling guide with the latest issue of the magazine. This sound file has got all the things that I want from a steam locomotive sound file. It's got really nice running sounds. It's got really nice high-speed sound as well, which is something you don't always get with steam sounds. Sometimes it can become a bit kind of, almost synthetic when they get up to the high-speed running sounds. This sounds brilliant at all speeds. It's also got all the extra functionality in it as well. So you've got like heavy exhaust beats, you've got coasting sounds built into it as well. They're all available at the touch of a button or through the throttle changes as well. So a very drivable locomotive and loads of ancillary functions as well. And one of the things I like about some of the ancillary functions is some of their dual function as well. So for example, when the model's stationary, I think it's function 7 will play a guard's whistle, but if the locomotive is moving, then you get flange squeal. And then I think there's another function where I think it's function 12, where if you're in shunting mode with function, I think it's 21 turned on, then function 12 does a cab door sound, whereas if you're in train mode with shunting mode turned off, then you get carriage door slams from the same function output. So it's got really quite a clever selection of features.
I do like that, because the more sound functions that can be kept under F10,
yeah,
and the easier it is to use on most controllers.
That's right, yeah. And also, there's some brilliant and great fun whistles on this as well. I do like a Locoman Sounds whistle.
Well, I'm keen to get it going, so shall we get it going?
Yeah, let's show people what it does.
well, as we'd expect, that was rather nice.
It was rather nice. I was really quite impressed with the end result. When I make choices about how I'm going to do a sound installation and where I'm going to position the speaker and things, I'm always thinking, is it going to sound right when I've finished it? But occasionally it doesn't quite sound as good as I'd like it to do, and I think sometimes it is about the speaker position. Other times like this, it all just falls together, and it's lovely.
It's really nice because it's loud with your speaker choice, I should say, but not too much for the speaker.
No, definitely not. I mean, that's the advantage of these rail exclusive speakers. I mean, in your injection molded enclosure as well, they've got really strong speakers as well. You've got to go to a really high volume level to start distorting the sound out of these. They're really good quality components in them as well, which again makes a big difference. Working with the quality components gets you good quality output at the end of it as well. And
like you say, lots of play value. I think we both had quite a bit of fun there.
Yeah, absolutely. it's great fun, actually. Little things please little minds and all that, but I love being able to have it romping around at a decent speed, like speed step 50, and just watch it down a couple of speed steps as it comes around the corner. It drops to the coasting sounds, then clanks through the station, and the driver sees the green signal and he opens up the regulator again. You can just one speed step up and it's back to exhaust sounds. Just great little fun driving things.
So for those at home who want to follow in the footsteps of sound fitting their Flying Scotsman, because this year is the year to do it.
Certainly is.
Where can they see that step by step?
So that full step-by-step guide is either available in issue 189 in our special Flying Scotsman Centenary supplement, that's on sale from February the 2nd, 2023, or alternatively, if you're one of our Key Model Oil subscribers and you might have already found the video, it's right here on keymodeloil.com. Plus, if you're on our website and you want to see even more about Flying Scotsman, then if you go to keymodeloil.com/flying-scotsman, then you'll find all of our features from the supplement and a whole load of other related content as well.
Anyone would think it's a birthday or something.
It certainly is. Very special birthday. 100 years of Flying Scotsman.
It's a long time, that.
It certainly is.
Well, I think that brings us nicely to the end of another video, so thank you very much for watching as ever. Take care, and we'll see you very soon in the next one. Bye for now.